Welcome to 1StepForward and NStepsBack, where we look at a new piece of lore and see how many times it contradicts the old lore or just doesn't make any sense. Here we're looking at science fiction to explain intergalactic travel in the Mass Effect universe. In Mass Effect, the longer your spaceship spends in FTL, the more static electrical charge the drive core generates. Drives can be operated on average of 50 hours before they reach charge saturation. This changes proportionally to the magnitude of mass reduction. A heavier or faster ship reaches saturation more quickly. If the charge is allowed to build, the core will discharge into the hull of the ship. All ungrounded crew members are fried to a crisp, all electronic systems are burned out, and metal bulkheads may be melted and fused together. So in order to solve this problem with the trip to Andromeda, the writers came up with the ODSY drive system, which is on their website. Go check it out. It is capable of recycling static energy that would typically cause a starship to explode, instead storing it to power the Ark's primary systems. So, credit where credit is due. However, it continues. Meanwhile, an electromagnetic ram scoop will gather hydrogen from the Ark's surroundings, converting it into fuel as needed. The problem with this is when an object in Mass Effect goes into FTL, either through a mass relay or through its standard FTL drive core, it creates a virtually mass-free corridor. The same way an object not traveling in FTL, like the Vanguard charge ability, can go through solid objects.
You can charge across chasms and phase through solid objects. Nothing can stop you.
Which means there's no mass in these corridors or bubbles. The ram scoop, or Blizzard ramjet, which operates by compressing a magnetic field through high speeds, force those stray hydrogen atoms into an area where thermonuclear fusion can occur. This is the primary design and function of nacelles the Federation starships have in Star Trek. So how are you going to get stray hydrogen atoms in a massless corridor moving at those speeds? How do we pick up matter when we're in this bubble of space-time where we pass through solid material? Well, there are 4 issues. 1, we have to exit FTL to get some hydrogen, which means slowing down to 100,000 meters per second or 100 kilometers a second, which means it'll take a lot longer to get to Andromeda, which is a lot more than 600 years. 2, we somehow have to find a source of hydrogen. This is different than trying to find it in a galaxy since we're in dark space, or the huge empty distance between galaxies. Of course, this is theoretical, but Star Trek does this while in warp, but within the Milky Way galaxy. Keep in mind, it turns out that roughly 68% of the universe is dark energy. Dark matter makes about 27%. The rest, everything on Earth, everything ever observed with all of our instruments, all normal matter, baryonic matter, adds up to less than 5% of the known universe. So, somehow, some part of that 5% in between galaxies is going to be some hydrogen atoms, or some isotope of hydrogen, or something, any light baryonic atom that we can fuse together to fuel our fusion engine. The third problem is this. If we look at the design of the ships, we notice these 4 arms jutting out of the Ark ships. Okay, I'm assuming these are the Blizzard collectors. Cool, form follows function. So, where are the Blizzard collectors on the station? Do the 4 Ark ships make this giant bubble or corridor for the station to then fly into with them? Or does the station also have a ODSY drive system inside it somehow? The fourth question is this. Why are we even using a fusion engine? FTL in Mass Effect works first by accelerating. Then halfway through our journey, slowing down by the same amount we accelerated. This is all due to the special properties of element 0. Why not use any kind of electrically powered spacecraft propulsion? Since the FTL engine core generates electricity and ODSY stores it, we would have an almost self-sustaining system. Theoretically, in the future, the most advanced electric thrusters may be able to impart a speed of 100 kilometers a second, which is enough to take a spacecraft to the outer planets of the solar system with nuclear power, but is insufficient for interstellar travel. This was rejected in 1973 due to heavy equipment and the low thrust. But in the Mass Effect universe, things are virtually massless. It's called science fiction. Just needs a little bit of science, rather than fills in the small details, and things make sense. Either way, we have a score of 1 to 4, where Bioware creates a new science fiction lore and unintentionally generates 4 more holes, making the trip to Andromeda with the information provided completely impossible. Special thanks goes to Komamuram, Alex Zinovyev, Censuur, SaltyWaffles, and that baked good fellow who shall not be named. But that was my assessment. What do you guys think of this best way to get to Andromeda within the Mass Effect universe?